We are just under a month away from the final Black Ops 6 Zombies DLC map dropping, and in this video we're going to round up some brand new leaks as well as all the currently known information about the map, including the map's name, perks, wonder weapons, enemies, ammo mods, potential new gameplay features, and everything else in between. Let's just dive straight into it, but if you're ready for the next DLC map, let me know down below in the comments, and whilst you're down there, if you enjoyed this video at any point, let me know by just clicking the thumbs up button. It's completely free, and lets YouTube know you want to see more videos like this. And to guarantee you don't miss any breaking news on the final Zombies map, it's completely free to just click that subscribe button down below. But let's kick things off by first going over the map's official name. As for several months, it's simply been known as JANUS Towers, but voice lines within the Grief game mode were discovered a few weeks ago that confirmed that the upcoming map is called The Reckoning, with quotes of both Richtofen and SAM as announcers saying the map's name and then the word Grief afterwards. Until Treyarch themselves announced the map name officially, we can't say that this is officially confirmed, but with the characters saying the name, it is all but confirmed at this point. The map is obviously going to take place within the multiple towers that we see in the distance in the end cutscene for Shattered Vale, but are also visible from Liberty Falls. As we've experienced throughout Black Ops 6 with the different JANUS facilities, they all housed different purposes, with Terminus housing experimentation, Shattered Vale dealing with trying to explore liminal spaces, and the only details we know so far of the JANUS Towers facility is that it houses several ether reactors which were close to melting down. We also have some new context of the map thanks to those leaked quotes from the Grief mode for the map, with Richtofen describing it as a high-tech tower complex, the birthplace of SAM, and also hints to the possible ending of the map's narrative with the quote, "All good things must come to an end," or a new beginning if you get my meaning. As for SAM, she describes it as the heart of Edward's little empire, and that it used to be the pride and joy of Project Janus. Now look at it. With that in mind, let's now shift our focus to what we can expect gameplay-wise in The Reckoning. The first topic being on the map's wonder weapon. As for several months now, we've known, thanks to data miners who have found it in the code, that the wonder weapon tied to this final map is codenamed to be a pistol wonder weapon. That's the only details we know, is that it is classed as a pistol. Now, we've known this specific detail all the way back since Shattered Vale's release with Season 3, and with every Season and Season Reloaded update, data miners on PC discovered that Treyarch have added more code related to upcoming content with each update. However, in the case of where we are now, with Season 4 Reloaded having only just come out a week or so ago, you'd have expected there to be a ton of leaked code related to The Reckoning and the wonder weapon and everything being updated. Surprisingly, nothing additionally new has been added to the game files, so we're still referring to information that was found back in Season 3. What we don't know is specifically what pistol wonder weapon it is. Now, we also don't know if it is a brand new original pistol wonder weapon, or if Treyarch are going to be returning a previous pistol wonder weapon from an older Zombies game. And judging by the track record of wonder weapons that we've seen so far, the odds seem more likely of it being a returning wonder weapon than it being original. It's only due to the fact that we got a returning one in Liberty Falls, a returning one in the Tomb, and the returning one in Shattered Vale. We'll dive into the most likely options that this pistol wonder weapon can be, but a brand new leak wonder weapon shared by Reality UK on Twitter is that apparently within the code for months have been references to the Blundergat from Mob of the Dead inside of Black Ops 6 Zombies. And what is strange is that he says that it's been in the code for a while, so he thinks that likely nothing will come of it, but still there are references to the Blundergat in Black Ops 6. As previously stated, the wonder weapon in the code for the upcoming map is a pistol. There is one of three options here. Either the Blundergat was cut content that was supposed to be in Black Ops 6, or it's going to be coming to Black Ops 7, or the third option is that we could get a pistol wonder weapon and maybe potentially the Blundergat as well. Because if we don't see it in The Reckoning, then we won't see it in any other Zombies map in Black Ops 6, because this is the final one. So whilst it's extremely unlikely that the Blundergat will be part of The Reckoning, there is a very small chance that it could. However, putting more focus on what the pistol wonder weapon can be is likely to be one of these two options. The first being the Cerberus wonder weapon, which is returning from Cold War's Mauer der Toten, which would make a ton of sense to see return, as it was Requiem's first take on an experimental wonder weapon that was created by them, and in its base form takes the form of a pistol, which has a really unique feature of a floating sphere that ejects from a port in the center of the weapon and rotates around the pistol pistol any moment it's fired. Now, this may seem like a really random wonder weapon for them to return, but there are two reasons why it makes a lot of sense. The first, and a very unique aspect to this wonder weapon, is that every time you shoot, there is a floating sphere that ejects from the center of the weapon. It rotates around the weapon and fires an additional shot. But that's because the weapon is infused with an artificial intelligence that takes on the voice and personality of Elizabeth Gray, Oscar Strauss, and Mackenzie Carver, 2 out of the 4 dedicated crew characters currently in the game. The second reason why this weapon is likely to come back is that it's featured in the Modern Warfare Zombies intro cutscene, where it can be spotted on a shelf near to our Requiem crew / dedicated crew currently in the game, who were all deceased attached to some sort of machine. This cutscene hints that at some point between now and 2021, the characters come across the Cerberus wonder weapon again. Overall, it was just a really fun wonder weapon to use and probably the best wonder weapon from Cold War. It also had an extra ability where it could be converted into a completely different weapon via 3 different weapon mod kits that would drop from zombies. These kits converting it into an assault rifle, a shotgun, or a handheld cannon. The second option for what this pistol wonder weapon could be is the return of Alistair's Folly, which is a wonder weapon from Black Ops 4's Dead of the Night. Narratively, this could make sense to see return as it was designed and created by Alistair Rhodes, and we know that the Chaos story is completely canon now in Black Ops 6 Zombies. We've even had Alistair Rhodes name dropped a few times at this point, so it's not completely out of the window of opportunity at all. And this was a revolver-like projectile weapon, which has a double action fire mode. Just like the Cerberus, had 2 upgraded variants known as the Chaos Fury and Alistair's Annihilator, with the second upgrade allowing a charged shot to either create a green portal, evaporating zombies out of existence, and another that shot a small fireball that vaporized any zombies near it. I'd love to know down below in the comment section, out of those 2 wonder weapon choices, what are you hoping to see? As ultimately, both of them are fantastic wonder weapons on paper, and both deserve a second outing to show to newer players how good they are. Now, aside from wonder weapons, something really interesting that Reality UK found with the Season 4 update back at the end of May is that a grappling hook could apparently be coming to Black Ops 6 at some point. Now, we didn't say specifically what mode it would be coming to. We obviously know that it currently exists within the campaign. There's a mission where you obtain a grappling hook and use it to traverse around for a little bit, and I don't really see this being in multiplayer. And with the idea of the Reckoning being multiple towers, surely to traverse quickly up and around the towers, a grappling hook would make sense. Now, by no means is this a confirmation that the grappling hook is going to be in the map, but it just makes sense out of any location involving a ton of verticality, unless there is some other mode of transport like an elevator shaft like we saw in Shattered Veil. It would make some sort of sense. But enough about wonder weapons, let's now move on to the upcoming perk and ammo mod coming with the Reckoning. And according to both Reality UK and Vondia's Pog over on Twitter, there are 2 perks left within the code of the game being labeled as W_mod and Z_mod. Now, looking at previous perk naming in the code for Double Tap, it was labeled as D_mod, so it's safe to assume that the W and Z_mods are the first letters of the first word of these perks. Now, what's curious is that there are 2 perks still within the files of the game, meaning either we're going to see 2 perks come with the Reckoning, or we're going to see 1 new perk with the Reckoning, and then we'll see another new perk release with Season 6 of the game. So what could these perks be? Well, let's start with W_mod, where W is obviously referring to a perk beginning with W, and looking back at previous perks that we've had in Zombies, the only ones that we have is Widow's Wine and Winter's Wail. Both perks work fairly similar to each other, with one being in Black Ops 3 and the other Black Ops 4. Widow's Wine potentially returning as the perk would be absolutely huge. It is a beloved perk, and if it does return for the Reckoning, then this will be a historical run for Treyarch, with a back-to-back home run of an amazing perk to return. The Z_mod, the only perk that's existed before that begins with a Z, is Zomshell from Black Ops 4. This was a bit of a strange perk and to me felt slightly incomplete, as the effect of the perk wasn't overly useful, where basic zombies have a chance to explode when killed, and they leave behind a contamination field that slows zombies down if they walk into it and increases damage dealt to them. It's by no means a terrible perk, but considering that game only had a 4 perk limit, it really didn't make sense for you to use this as one of your main perks. And for Black Ops 4, in the modifier slot, it gained an additional benefit where the player was ignored by zombies while standing in the contamination field, which is almost identical to the effect of the camouflage with the Vulture Raid perk. Seeing as we already have Vulture Raid inside of BO6, I doubt that this perk as a modified bonus would also have that ability, but because on paper this is quite a basic perk, but we have the augment system now in Black Ops 6, if this was to return, this could actually have a ton of additional modifiers that could make this perk really, really good. But we will just have to wait and see what happens with either of these perks, as we don't know for sure which one or if both of them are going to be making their way into the Reckoning for DLC 4. As an additional note on perks, there is actually a third perk that exists within the game files. It isn't referred to being in the game for Black Ops 6, but it's referred to being in the game for Black Ops 7, and that is Mule Kick. There were quite a few gameplay updates that were leaked within code that was leaked on Twitter, and I made a video going over all of that you can check out as a card appearing on the top right and as an end card that I'll remind you about at the end. It did mention that there would be a quaternary or fourth weapon slot in Black Ops 7, which means that Mule Kick would have to be in the game for that to work. What's interesting is if we go back a few months ago, the supposed perk for the Reckoning was neither of the perks that we've just spoken about, but was actually likely to be Tombstone. However, according to Vondius Pog, all references in the code to the Tombstone perk were removed in Season 3, indicating that at some point in development, Treyarch did intend to have Tombstone as part of Black Ops 6 Zombies, but then they got rid of it entirely. And honestly, I don't think a lot of people are going to be upset that Tombstone isn't coming to the game. But I did want to point that out because in a previous video, we all assumed that Tombstone was the upcoming perk, but it doesn't seem to be the case whatsoever. And the final thing I will say on perks is that all the way back when Modern Warfare Zombies released as part of a special edition version of the game at places like Best Buy, you could get a sticker pack which included a sticker for Widow's Wine. And at the time, we all assumed that this could mean that Widow's Wine was going to be in Modern Warfare Zombies at some point during its post-launch support. That obviously never happened, but clearly they wouldn't have designed Widow's Wine if there wasn't some relevance to it actually being in the game. So this gives a little bit more credence to the idea of Widow's Wine potentially being in Black Ops 6, seeing as that it was designed for Modern Warfare Zombies promotional artwork, which never happened, but could happen for Black Ops 6. Moving on to ammo mods, according to Reality UK with the recent Season 4 Reloaded update, there are no future ammo mods found within the file, so Shatterblast may be the last ammo mod that we see in the game. And he also said the same thing for field upgrades. Now, there is a chance that with a future seasonal update, there is added code that now has another ammo mod and field upgrade in, but at least from what it seems right now with what's in the game's code, there is no future upcoming ammo mods or field upgrades, as everything that was a potential upcoming ammo mod and field upgrade we have now seen added to the game. Moving on to new enemy types that we could see within the Reckoning, there has been code ever since November 2024 within Black Ops 6, as there has existed pop-up text on screen for different ways of taking out Hellhounds. And a bundle was recently added that included an emote with the Hellhound, and we can see that the Hellhound has been redesigned for Black Ops 6. It's not the same Hellhound model that we saw within Modern Warfare Zombies imported in. They've created this specifically for the game, and I cannot see a reality where Treyarch remodels the Hellhound for an emote, but doesn't include that same remodel within Zombies where the Hellhound originally came from. So it's plausible that Hellhounds could be the special round within the Reckoning, replacing the toxic zombies and the vermin that we've seen in the previous maps. And on top of that, we could see a second new enemy which has existed in the code since November 2024. We've spoken about this on multiple map videos all the way back from DLC 1 to now, of an enemy called Mecha Klaus. That's all it's called within the code, but it exists alongside other entities such as Abomination, Amalgam, Mangler, Mimic, Parasite, Vermin. We've seen every single one of these now, apart from Mecha Klaus. Now, on paper, it does sound like it could be related to Klaus the Robot, who is an operator within Black Ops 6 multiplayer, returning as some potential evil enemy, but the fact it's got the word Mecha at the front makes it sound like it's a mechanical enemy more so than it being the actual robot itself, and there's a chance that it could be a new version of the Panzer or Kranzi soldat from Black Ops 2 and Black Ops Cold War. Whatever this enemy ends up being, I doubt that its actual name is going to be Mecha Klaus, and instead it could just be a code name for something. But to me, it sounds like it's going to be something in a mech suit. And if we don't see this enemy type within the Reckoning, then this is officially going to be a cut enemy type. Like, we have to see it in this map. Otherwise, it's not going to be in any of the Black Ops 6 maps. Rounding up everything we know so far, of course, we need to talk about when this map is releasing. We know it's coming with Season 5, and we know that based on the timer for the current season, it is going to start on August 7th, which means in the time between now and then, it is very likely that we're going to start to have Treyarch ramp up the teaser marketing for the map and eventually reveal it this month, which is very exciting. After what feels like many, many months of waiting and there being very little for zombies, in terms of new map content, it is finally on the way, and I'm sure as we get further into the month, we're going to finally start getting that marketing, and we're going to be getting a ton of very exciting teasers. So to make sure you don't miss out on any of that, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell down below. But I'd love to know your thoughts about all the topics we've discussed in this video, what you hope to see, what you don't hope to see. On the topic of future zombies, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I dropped a recent video going over brand new Black Ops 7 gameplay update leaks, which talks about some new and returning gameplay systems, as well as more evidence that Outbreak could be returning in Black Ops 7 Zombies. If you want to watch that, click that video on your screen right now, where I'll be with you in just a moment.